Welcome to my mobile apps extension assignment. In this presentation, you will encounter 5 apps that I have never used before, but have looked into to present to you and for possible use in the future. I am an ESL resource teacher for grades K through 5. Specifically, at this time, I am working with grades 2 and 5. I pulled this graphic here, Amplify Your L's Voices, from commonsense.org, and I think it's got some great tips if you'd like to look over it for amplifying your L's voices. And at the bottom it has some suggested tools. As a matter of fact, it uses 2 of the apps that we'll talk about later in this presentation as well. So in this presentation, we're talking about apps that can promote literacy for all students. But my lens is more specifically for ESL students. I like this app, Intro to Letters, because even though I work in intermediate grades, I have received students that have had no formal education, and so I've had to teach early literacy skills in 4th and 5th grade. And something like this I think is pretty cool, and as I was trained in Willingham, I really like it even more because of its simplistic approach, and it is tactile, and it allows kids to trace letters with their fingers, to hear the sounds, letter names, and record themselves saying letter sounds and letter names. And it's a quiet educational play without being more of a game type. It's calm with clear narration, and I think that, especially with some of the newcomers that I have worked with, this has been a good introduction into technology and into phonemic awareness and phonics. I like it a lot. Word Slaps is a vocabulary app. Another very important area for teachers of English language learners. So I like what I'm seeing with this app because it's helping your students learn vocabulary specifics in their world. It's a photo-based game, and you can use voiceover to instruct kids to find whatever animals, like if it's a chicken, in a set of animal photos, or you can find a color in a block of various colors. You can upload your own photos and place them in categories, or kids can play preset categories of colors and animals. So it's a sounds like a pretty cool vocabulary tool. Tell About This is a storytelling app. Kids can use dozens of photos sorted into categories such as culture, people, family, and fun, to serve as inspiration to prompt kids to tell stories. After choosing a category, they select a photo, see and hear the prompt, and tap the microphone button to record their tell about. They can pause during recording and save or play back the recording when they're finished. Recordings can be saved in-app or to the device's camera roll and emailed. So that's pretty cool as a tool for sharing as well. I really like the sound of this app Write About This because it's not necessarily an all-inclusive writing location. Teachers and students can work together in the writing process and use this platform sort of as a final publishing spot, or it can also be used as a pre-writing platform where students can orally tell their stories and have it transcribed out, which is another amazing thing for an ESL student where writing is often the last domain for proficiency. So I read about this app in one of our articles that we were to read this week, and I wanted to check it out and see what it was all about because it sounded pretty impressive in the article. And I found that this is a app where students can create video slideshows, adding their own narration and text. These can be long videos, like 30 minutes. They can include up to 100 images. And unlike the rest of the apps in this presentation, it is free to use. To create a new video, students tap the Create New icon and choose their images from the several resources included, the camera roll and other app libraries on the device, like the Library of Congress, Maps, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the British Library, NASA, and NOAA, as well as results from web searches that can be done within the app. So students just tap these images to include them. So it also sounds like a pretty cool tool for cross-content areas, and they simply hit start and talk while they scroll through the images, and they can zoom on certain parts of the images as they speak. Teachers will find many uses for Shadow Puppet EDU, and they don't have to look very hard to find these project ideas. They're included, so it sounds pretty teacher-friendly as well as student-friendly.